Hello everybody, welcome back to another podcast. I am your host, Gramps. Make that your not so good host, Gramps. But anyways, welcome back to the BS podcast. How you doing? Good? Well, it's not going to be good after you're done watching this podcast because trust me, my content is whack. But nonetheless, we have some things to talk about. Okay, now I intentionally waited to record this podcast because I wanted two updates to talk about. So I'm going to talk about the 8-bit update, and then I'm going to talk about the Sandy update. Just because, give this podcast some a lot of topics to talk about. But first we're going to talk about some of the balance changes for 8-bit update. Just three that I wanted to just talk about because why not? So the first, before I get any further, all of the timestamps for everything if you came for a specific thing, I don't know, what you came for, but if you came for a specific thing, all the timestamps are going to be in the description below. First thing in the description, maybe second, I don't know. So you just go down there, click whatever you want, go wherever, but yeah. So nonetheless, let's just hop into this. So all of these for the next 3 brawlers that I talk about balance changes, all were taken from Kairos Time's video. So I'm gonna link also that in the description below. So thank you, Kairos. So first, Tick. We want to talk about Tick. So Tick's attack radius has been buffed by 11%. Now possible to hit all 3 mines on one brawler. Range now reaches 12 tiles. Now this is annoying because Tick is the annoying brawler. Tick literally lives up to its name because an actual real Tick in real life, it's annoying to deal with, hard to get rid of, and once you got rid of it, it always comes back with more. So it's literally annoying. Tick was annoying to begin with. He did a lot of damage to begin with. People thought he was weak, but just because he doesn't do Rosa damage, when Rosa came out, it was literally you couldn't play the game because Rosa was OP. Just because Tick is not like that doesn't mean Tick is balanced. Tick, if anything, was unbalanced to begin with, and I think they're making him a little bit more unbalanced now because Tick is just way too powerful. There's always one where you're in the middle of a fight, and then Tick is like, allow me to introduce myself, and then just kills you because third parties you, and it's just so annoying. But nonetheless, that's Tick. Everyone has their own opinion. Mostly everyone hates Tick, but yeah, what are you gonna do about it? But next up, Circling Eagle, bow star power, buffed by 50%. Sight in bushes from 2 to 3 tiles. Now that's good because it used to be like that. It used to be that's how much you could see as Bo with his old star power. With the star power, and then they nerfed it a long time ago. So it's literally why would you want it? It's if you use Circling Eagle, which you had to because that was the only star power back then. If you used it, it'd be like playing why would you want to have that when the enemy can see you 1 second after you spot them, 0.5 of a second after you see them. That's not enough time to run backwards or attack them or anything. It didn't really help with anything, and it only worked in bushes. So it's what's the point? But now Circling Eagle's back, and also Cavern Churn is back. And it allows Bo to be way more useful, like the king that he used to be back in Cavern Churn. And also just as the king he used to be when he had his old star power being all overpowered. Not overpowered, but just being useful. But I say that Bo was the king. He was never the king in the past. He was always unbalanced. He was always underwhelming. So yeah. Now the big nerf that everybody wanted, Band-Aid. Now, Band-Aid is nerfed 60%, healing reduced from 5,040 to 2,000 damage. Now this is good. I love this because I can't tell you how many heckin' times I healed and then Shelly was like, no, and then just gave me a pounding because she healed back up. It was so annoying. And now, because it's healed. This is what they did, okay? Supercell was okay, hold up. What Supercell literally did was they gave their child a freaking rifle an automatic rifle. I can't say that on YouTube, but they gave their child a gun, and then they were like, "Okay, here's a gun. Don't shoot your brother," and then went to work. Literally, and by work I mean they went on vacation, left Brawl Stars to suffer being unbalanced for 2 months, and it was just a horrible time. That was like my least favorite time in Brawl Stars history. I honestly was contemplating quitting. Because it's like, why would I want to play a broken game? Like, with all these star powers, all of them were broken. And the game was unplayable. I didn't want to play it. Not most of the people that I talked to and on Exus, which you should join, by the way, links in the description, people on Exus were like, yeah, I mean, I don't like playing Brawl Stars as we speak because it's just so unbalanced and unfair. So, that's that. It was nerfed. It was good. Everyone's happy. I'm happy. Well, some people aren't happy because now they're like, what? So you're telling me I can't push to 15,000 Shelly? Like, the tryhards are getting mad because this was nerfed. And honestly, I'm not a tryhard. I'm only at like 11k. But I'm still happy. But I do feel like Band-Aid is still a little bit underwhelming now. I think if they went for like a nice 2,500 or even 3,000, that would be a little bit more better because it would still make Band-Aid like, oh, you gotta watch out. But now with Band-Aid being only 2,000, you could still manage to take out a Shelly after gaining 2,000. So it's like still like it doesn't really affect much because 2,000 is in the range of where it still takes like a 3-shot from Bull to kill a Shelly. So what's the problem? Like it's not really useful. It's like it's not there. But that after so those are the balance changes that happened. So yeah, we love them, we hate them. Who cares about who you care about? So next up we are the Piper remodel and Piper skin. So Piper was remodeled in the 8-bit update, and for the better. My friend Fernicus, who was going to be in a future video, we already discussed this, he was saying that Piper, whenever we VC'd, voice chat for all you non-gamers, whenever we VC'd, he would say that Piper reminds him of a grandma, and I was like, no, did you hear her voice? She's obviously a young lady, and I was like, but I do see where you're coming from, she does look like an old lady, like, I thought she was an old lady, I mean, but, you know, it was just a little whack. But then, Brawl Stars was like, hippity, yep, okay. And then they were like, okay, she's young now. And they made her young. And I really like this because now she looks better, she looks cleaner. And with the Brawl Stars update, they do a thing where, with their old brawlers, they Play-Doh them. They, like, make them into Play-Doh figures. And they make them look better and cleaner and smoother and not, like, a dark. Like, as you can see the players on your screen. Like, look at the screen. They're all Play-Doh-y, they're all nice, or sometimes family-friendly can do good. Like, family-friendly designs can be a good thing. And I think in their case, most of the time, they are all good. Like, I mean, some things that were questionable was, like, Tara's remodel. Tara's remodel was like, oh, okay, yeah. Because everyone was afraid that Tara would get a child-friendly, remodel. And everyone was afraid for that. But it didn't really look bad. And then that's why everyone was, like, you know, chill about it. And then Piper also got another, a new skin, after, like, what, 17,000 years of not getting anything new to her? So she got a new skin. It's not really that cool, I mean, and it's not really much to it, it's just Pink Piper. And even though it's Pink Piper, it's still a cool skin, it's like, she's pink. And she also looks like, and a cool thing about it is that the colors are inverted. So basically, Piper's dress, her normal dress is blue with a pink sash around it. Now her dress is pink with a blue sash around it, and in her head it used to be a blue butterfly or something, or a blue flower. It's now a pink flower. So they just inverted the colors, made it look nice. I enjoy that skin. I think it's a very it's a nice change, but it's a good change. And speaking of skins, let's talk about Iris Tara. So Iris Tara is just a blue Tara. It's another reskin, but it still looks cool. It looks, like, kept. It looks nice. It actually looks... It's a very cool skin. I think the blue and gold is well for Tara, and it just looks super nice. I think I have Iris Tara. I don't know, though. I think I do have Iris Tara skin. And I like it. I personally used it a couple of times, and it's good. It's a nice skin. And another skin that came out with the 8-bit update was Shark Leon. Now, the thing about Leon is that, what do you do if you're in Supercell's position? How do you make a skin for Leon, who is so dependent on being a lizard? Because, like, on the way to school, me and my dad were like, yeah, I mean, how do you make a skin for someone who's so specific on something? And they came out with Shark Leon. And my dad doesn't like it because, you know, my dad has a way of thinking that, like, if they're gonna be a brawler, and if they're gonna be a specific brawler, like, let's choose a brawler, for example, if they're gonna be like Spike, according to with using my dad's logic, he says it wouldn't make sense for Spike to be something like a cannonball or something, because he's a cactus. He's supposed to be a plant. He's supposed to be something like that. So when something like this comes out, Shark Leon, that totally changes what it's supposed to be. My dad he's not a fan of it. I personally like the skin because it looks good, it's really nice. And I don't have Leon, so I haven't had a chance to play it. He's the only legendary that I don't have. And I'll get into that. Well, actually, no, if you've seen the last video, I got Sandy. From a normal box, which is cool. Making Leon still, like, the only legendary brawler that I need. So I haven't played him, but from what I see from the pictures and what I see from gameplay when I'm going either up against the Shark Leon or playing with the Shark Leon, I find that skin pretty cool. I actually really like it. It's, like, all of these skins, sorry, I'm readjusting my headphone, so if you hear the microphone shaking, that's why. But, I really like these skins that came out with the 8-bit update. None of them were pretty bad. Like, I think the only bad skins that there have been in, like, Brawl Stars history was one, Cave and Frank. No one really likes that. And it's not because, like, oh, Frank, stupid. No, it's just because Cave and Frank is just a horrible skin. It's not really good. And then people also don't like Night Thick Mortis, although I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I like that skin, personally. But it's probably just because I'm stupid. But, so yeah, that's that. Now, let's talk about the actual main thing that came to the 8-bit update, which is 8-bit. Now, 8-bit, a lot of people have mixed opinions about him. Some people think he's underwhelming, some people think he's overwhelming. I'm personally on the side where I think he's overwhelming a bit. I think he might be a little unbalanced, just because it's just like, come on, why? Why is he does so much damage? Sometimes his shots can loop around walls, which shouldn't be a thing, because it's going straight, and they do a lot of damage. So it gets a little annoying at times. How it could do so much damage, has so much health. But the thing that makes up for it is the slow speed in the game. Although some people make the argument that it doesn't really make up for it due to the fact that he has one of the longest ranges in the game with one of the longest effective area in the game. So it's just like, is he really balanced? I say no. I don't think he's that he's overbalanced. I don't think that he is balanced. Now, the thing that pretty much everybody in the Brawl Stars community can agree on is the fact that 1-Up, his newest star power, which is actually called like Extra Life or something for legal reasons, but his star power 1-Up is super overwhelmingly unbalanced. And I know that's the part. I know that it makes sense for him to have something like that, just because you know, he's an arcade thing, he's a classic, 1-Up, Mario, boom, like that. But it comes to the point where he gets that shield, he still does the damage, and he has all of his attacks left. That is the unbalanced part of it. Now, an idea that I had for 1-Up is that, all the attack, like the ammo bars that he had from when he was killed, they don't automatically reload when he gets back into the game, and the shield that goes around him doesn't like what I'm saying is that he shouldn't be able to have a shield when he regens. I think that personally there should be an animation for him to regenerate, but he shouldn't have the shield, because you literally can't do anything for a specific amount of time. He also is very overpowered in that current stage because he has all of his attacks left. It's pretty much like rolling reload, Daryl's star power that he got from the Star Powers update, I don't know if that, I think that came with Tick. The Star Powers came with Tick, I believe. But it's like Daryl's rolling reload. He gets them automatically back when the Star Power gets turned on. And it's like, why? Come on, Supercell. Fix your game, bro. And then he also got 8-Bit Classic, a red redesign of 8-Bit, which is like, okay. The only thing that really changes about is the screen. His face is yellow, and his and instead of having a coin slot, it is a little movement control thing. It's like one of those movement things that you use for Brawl Stars, like to go up, down, left, or right. So that's it's an okay skin, because like I think personally that you can have a really good recolor. Pandanita is the best recolor, because you don't even notice that it's a recolor, even though it is a recolor. It's a recolor. If you look, the 8-bits recolor though is super simple, super easy, and it's like super easy to tell that it's a recolor. Iris Tara also is hard to tell that it's a recolor, and it's a great one. Piper's though, on the other hand, you could tell it's a recolor, but it's not a bad one. But 8-bit's recolor is a bad one, and it's very noticeable. So it's like, come on, make something better. But yeah, so that's that. That's 8-bit. That's my thoughts. 8-bit isn't a bad brawler. I mean, overall, he's not like Rosa power of being overpowered. He's not like all those bad overpowers. He's just slightly overpowered, where he could use a slight nerf, but it's not in desperate need like Band-Aid or whatever the other star powers are. Also, I'm sitting in a chair, so if you hear it squeak, that's why. But the biggest thing that came around the time of the 8-bit update was truly Rushworth. So God, excuse me. I'm so sorry. I'm not cutting at that. I'm not cutting that out either. Rush Wars is a game that is basically the same game that Supercell has been making for the past. How long has Supercell been a thing? I just looked up Supercell when it was a thing. That didn't show up. When was Supercell founded? Let's go with founded. June 2010. What? Okay. Yes. Okay. And they made Naughty Trolls. Okay, whatever. The Supercell made a game called Naughty Trolls, apparently, and it looks not kid-friendly. So, that's that. But they came out in 2010. They basically made the same game that they've been making for 9 years now. 9 years now. It's 2019. And it's the same thing where you put down your troops, have them attack a building, and then get 3 stars. With the same boxes that they use for Brawl Stars, and with the same water animation that they use for Brawl Stars and for Clash Royale, and the same hitboxes that they use for Clash Royale. So it's pretty much like a mash between Boom Beach, Boom Beach, all of their games except for Heyday and apparently Naughty Trolls. And it's just like, okay, that's just not good. Like, Supercell, I think you failed making a new game, and I wouldn't be surprised if Rush War... Okay, this is me sounding extremely mean, and I love Supercell, I love their company, I love what they stand for, I love everything about them. But I think Supercell, I think you're going to have a very hard time with this game. Because, to me, it's literally the same thing as Boom Beach. And I've actually tried Boom Beach for the first time in, ever, just like a few weeks ago. And I was recording, and apparently I wasn't recording, and it was gonna be a cool video, but, you know, I didn't. I played it, though, and looking from the screenshots and looking at gameplay of Rush Wars, because I can't play it, because I'm not a Canadian, and I'm too lazy to change my Apple ID, but because of that, it feels like it's mainly just a remake of Boom Beach, like Boom Beach 2, even though, you know, Boom Beach is, like, a relevant game, and why would they make another, like, what? But it literally looks like that, with just new characters and new things and a new... It's not good. Honestly, I think Supercell, I think you're gonna have to do what you did to most of your other games, because the five games that their Supercell has out, excluding Naughty Trolls, again, apparently, most of the games that they have made in total have been scrapped. I think Rush Wars is gonna be another scrapped game. just because I don't think that there's anything really special or different about it. Like, and this might be just me. Okay, I might be totally wrong because I haven't played this game. But to me, from what I see, the gameplay, from the pictures, the screenshots, even the dang logo of the app, where it's the commander or whatever yelling, that's literally the same face that's literally the same logo that they've had for the app for years, starting with Clash Royale with the yelling barbarian, and then Clash of Clans with the yelling king. Clash Royale with the yelling king, Clash of Clans with the yelling barbarian, and Boom Beach with the yelling sergeant or whatever. It's like, what's different? What's new? What's good about this? And my dad brings up a good point. I don't think he's ever made this point in a podcast, but he says games like Brawl Stars are games that are very rare to find. And it's not just because it's so good and whatever. No, it's rare to find games like Brawl Stars because Brawl Stars is an interactive, real-time, first-person shooter game that involves skill. Clash of Clans and Clash Royale and Boom Beach and Rush Wars, on the other hand, are just tap games. You just tap them, have your enemies go somewhere, tap it again somewhere else, and you just tap. With Brawl Stars, it's an interactive game. And you have to be controlling. You don't have an AI controlling your movement. You don't have an AI controlling what happens. You yourself are playing the game. And that's why I think Rush Wars was a fail. Miserable fail compared to Brawl Stars. No Supercell game. Okay, oh, that was a good play. I was looking at the screen. But no Supercell game, I think, is ever gonna get close to becoming what Brawl Stars is. Or to be as good as Brawl Stars. No game will ever do that, except for, I don't know, Minecraft or something. But that's why I just think Rush Wars is a fail. But again, this is my opinion. I haven't played the game. I've seen gameplay, screenshots, and I've seen a couple kids playing it in real life. And some people in Exus too, which is linked in the description. Again, go join us. But people in Exus, some of them have been saying, like, it's literally the same thing. So, I think Supercell is the most successful Brawl Stars game, Supercell game that has ever came out. And yeah, I know it's like, kind of like, meh, like, why, it's like anticlimactic, this ending to, I'm not ending the podcast, but it's an anticlimactic way of talking about Rush Wars, but I don't think that it can ever, no game can ever come close to being what Brawl Stars is. And that's not just me being loyal to this game. I may be a little biased because, I like this game, I've spent money on it, and I've been playing for it's almost coming up to a year. But it's just that Rush Wars is just a mix of all the bad Supercell games. And I'm not saying that Clash of Clans is bad. I'm just saying it doesn't have anything to do with Brawl Stars. Like, no control, no nothing. Like, it's just the same game over and over. And I think Supercell hit their golden moment with Brawl Stars. And if they continue focusing on Brawl Stars, that golden moment is going to continue and they're going to be a more successful company. Now, this is just a 15-year-old dude talking about a game. I might be totally wrong about this, but that's just my 2 cents. And I don't care if you like Rush Wars. Power to you. I don't particularly care about what you like. That sounds messed up. But it's just like, I don't mind if you like it, because everyone likes what they like. Some people think Brawl Stars is stupid. To those people, I think they're wrong, but to them, they think they're right. And everyone has their own opinion, so, everyone's allowed to voice their own opinions. And I'm just saying that Supercell kind of messed up with Rush Wars. So, that's my thing. The next thing is, will Rush Wars kill Brawl Stars? Were you not listening? Rush Wars will never, ever, and I mean never ever, come close to even being compared to Brawl Stars. The only thing that they have in common is that they're made by Supercell. That's the only thing. One's trash and one's good. That's just me. That's my opinion. And even people that play Rush Wars probably would say that this doesn't come close to Brawl Stars. It has nothing on Brawl Stars, because Brawl Stars is such a unique game. It has their own like way, and it's just hard to complete. I mean, it's hard to make something new that's also good. And I think Brawl Stars, Supercell struck gold multiple times with Clash of Clans. But now that game has been, now that type of game has been run dry, and they made and they made Brawl Stars, they keep hitting golden, they keep having good moments in their career. And I think that maybe Rush Wars is probably not one of the best moments that they've had. And that's my opinion. Now, let's talk about a new segment about the podcast. Supercell stole my idea. Correction, Brawl Stars stole me and my dad's idea. Okay, and this is not a clickbait thing. They didn't actually steal. They didn't come upright say, yep, we stole. But let me tell you, it was back in 2019, still 2019. It was dogs. Please be quiet. I'm trying to record a podcast. But it was like August, January, February, March, April. It was around then. It was probably August actually. Actually, January. I don't know. It was January around then when me and my dad played, and my dad was in Alaska. We would typically call about things we would call and talk about Brawl Stars and all that because we do that. And, excuse me, sorry. And on the call, my dad had an idea. He said, hey, you know what would be cool? If Supercell makes a robot brawler that throws things, okay? And then his super, he would throw down another mini robot that chases down enemies and attacks. Whether it be just one attack or a turret that moves and does damage over time, like a Nita's Bear, but as a robot. And I was like, yeah, that would be a cool idea. And hey dog, stop. But the thing about this brawler that my dad was saying is that he would be a GameCube console. A GameCube console, like BMO, like 8-bit, like Tick. Does that ring a bell? So, basically, I think we said it in a video. I don't know if we said it in a video. I hope we said it in a video about these ideas. But basically, Supercell made 2 brawlers that were a morph of our brawler that we created. And we just found it funny. And this is not me. This actually happened. If my dad was on the podcast, he would say that this happened. And I'll try to find the image of the brawler, because he drew it. He drew an image of the brawler. And I'm going to see if I can find it. So yeah, that was that, and it was just funny to notice that happened, and that they kind of took the idea of a brawler, and it was just a fun thing. Okay, right, okay. Next part of the podcast, update 2, the Sandy update. So first of all, we have gotten a new thing that we haven't gotten in quite some time, and that is the new game mode. But more specifically, 2 game modes in one update. And those 2 game modes are Takedown and Lone Star. Now, I've played both relatively a lot. It's not that much. I haven't played that many rounds of them. I've only played probably 10 rounds of each game. So I'm definitely not, skilled in the art of Takedown or skilled in the art of Lone Star. I don't know all the logistics of Lone Star and Takedown. But in my opinion, I think Takedown and Lone Star are 2 really good game modes that bring a lot to the table. Sure, some people may have their opinions that it's just a mix of 2 game modes, but still, it's a whole new game mode. And it's fun. Takedown is awesome because you get to attack a big robot whilst fighting against everyone else. And at some points, everyone focuses on the robot. So you just have a bunch of people fighting a robot, occasionally shooting shots at other brawlers, and it's just a fun, good old time. I really like Takedown. And then Lone Star. Lone Star is fun, and Lone Star comes with its perk, and that perk is Island Invasion. So not many of you guys might know this, but Island Invasion is my favorite map. No, actually, it's my second favorite map. My first favorite map is Cavern Churn, but Lone Star is Island Invasion is my second favorite. And to see that it's coming back in a whole new game mode is actually very cool to think about, and very cool to see that it's just a whole new thing where you need to stay alive, and it's awesome. And I really like both of these new game modes. I honestly think that, I mean, hey, yeah, sure, maybe some things could be changed about it. I don't really have any ideas of what would need to be changed. I mean, like, maybe, you know, I don't know. I actually don't know. I think they're actually really good. Although, I saw a Kairos Time video where he said that something should be changed. I didn't watch it. I just saw in the thumbnail or something like that. But I personally don't think that it needs to change. I think it's good by itself. I think it's just good. So yeah, that's Takedown and Lone Star. Also, I really do like the cover art for both of them. I like the robots going, and then I like the Lone Star, just like the bounty star and all that. It's just, everything about it's cool. Everything about it is awesome. I really like it. Next up, El Primo's remodel. Now, El Primo's remodel has been a joke. That has been a thing always in the Reddit community for Brawl Stars, and just for the Brawl Stars community as a whole. Everybody made memes about El Primo getting a redesign. And everybody like knew it was coming. Everyone feared it. Everyone didn't want El Primo to look like a child-friendly game. And then it came out, El Primo's remodel. I personally, oh my god, that spike is in heaven. I personally think that El Primo's remodel is a great remodel. I think it's good. Like, literally, the only remodel that I was iffy about that has been, like, in the past is Rico's. Rico's star power was, I was like, okay, because, I was like, I was, what is the word? I was nervous about it. Because Rico, when he was a skinny robot, was awesome. I really liked it, and it looked cool. And then they redesigned it, and I was like, oh, okay. But now it's grown on me, and it's good. But El Primo's remodel, right from when I saw it, I fell in love. Especially because my least favorite skin that I had was El Rudo Primo. Now with the remodel, I think it's better than El Rey Primo. I think El Rudo Primo is like the best skin that has been out. Like, not the best skin, but it's really good. It's a really good skin. How fresh it looks, how the bat is redesigned, how he's more of a dark purple, and it's not a dull purple anymore. And his skin is just not dull. It's actually like, it looks so clean. It looks super great, and I really like it. And next up is the main update feature, Sandy. Now, I said before, I unlocked Sandy just 2 days before this podcast. Like, as I'm recording this right now, 2 days ago. And I've been playing him since. And I love Sandy. Honestly, he's a great brawler. Maybe he could be... Everyone keeps saying that Sandy is a little overpowered. Honestly, I haven't got to the point. He's only ranked level 2 for me. Not like rank 2, but level 2. Power level 2. And he's not that overwhelming at that point. Maybe it's because, you know, he's not leveled up. But still, I think he is a great brawler. I think he is super cool. I don't think it needs a duration, I don't think it needs to be shorter, because the whole point is a sandstorm to help your teammates be invisible for 12 seconds. I think reducing it to what Kyra said at 8 seconds, I don't think that would be cool. I think that would kind of take away the point of him being, you know, him. And I really like the skin. I like not the redesign. I like the design. The only thing that's a little questionable is him being a guy. Because everyone was like, when they saw Sandy but didn't know the sex of the brawler, they would be like, oh yeah, girl. But seeing that he's a guy, it's like, okay. I mean, that would explain why he has like his chest kind of exposed. And it would make sense for his chest to be exposed because he's a guy. But everyone would just assume that he was a girl. Now, I think that him being a guy is cool. Like, you know, it's like, yeah, look at Silver Cell being with the times, supporting transgender brawlers, let's go. But like, jokes aside, I mean, I think he's a really cool design. I think he has a really cool voice lines. I really like his voice lines. His character is a well-rounded character as a, you know, not as a brawler, but as a character in his how he talks, how he acts, how his model is. I think it's all good. Everything about him is good. I like the little nose bubble. The nose bubble adds a really cool sleeping effect. Because I think if it was just him sleeping, it would look a little like what? It would just look not cool, but the bubble adds so much to it. I really like it. And now is a part of the podcast where I tell you an idea for a brawler. Now I think I'm gonna start this where I talk about a new brawler. I'm gonna like make a design for the brawler and then tell like his attacks and his star powers and all that. So this idea that I have, his name is Scupper. Okay, now Scupper is a pirate brawler who's a thrower as well. Under the category thrower, of course. And the thing about him is that he has a motor in his hand, Penny's motor specifically, and it's supposed to be like they're related. That's the joke, and he's gonna have purple hair as well. His beanie, he's gonna have a beanie, but instead of having a skull like Penny does, he's gonna have a bomb, a little bomb emblem on his head, because he's like a bomber. He throws bombs and all that. Not throws bombs, but he launches bombs. And he has a striped shirt that goes from bottom to top, so it's stripes bottom to top going up, and a lot of them all the way from one sleeve to the other. And it's a little like a little loose because pirates are like all they don't really care about appearance and all that. He like his main pose probably would be him holding a bomb, and then in his other hand holding a motor. On his back would be a bag full of bombs, or just like a lumpy bag to symbolize that there's bombs in there, to like show like that's where he gets the bombs. And his reload animation would be him grabbing a bomb from his bag, putting it in the motor, and then shooting it. That's like what his thing would be. And then he has baggy pants, just like Penny does, how she has baggy pants. He will have baggy pants as well with a little stitch on the left leg. I mean, this is just how I drew him. He would have like a little stitch on the left leg with like kind of elf-like shoes, because Penny's shoes look elf-ish. So that's that. I think I drew him really well. I don't think you guys will ever see. Who knows though? I'm gonna keep this, so you're gonna see all the brawler ideas that I come up with. So his main attack, damage is 2,000, takes 0.5 seconds to discharge. Reload is similar to Dynamite. I don't know if 0.5 seconds is Dynamite's actual reload speed, but I want it to be similar to Dynamite's reload because, I just want it. And the name of that attack would be called Blunder Blast. And his super, Scupper shoots out 5 cannonballs outwards instead of throwing. That goes through walls. So it's basically like, think of Shelly Super, but just with cannonballs pointing outwards, shooting at walls. It can go through them. And the attack range will be similar to Pan's. And then his star power. I only made one because at the time they didn't have 2 star powers when I actually thought of this guy idea, I drew him out, and this was before this 2 star powers. But his first star power is called Set Sail. Star power 1. After Scupper gets his super, he can swim over the lakes and ponds for 8 seconds. He takes 2,000 damage if he's still in the water after the duration of 8 seconds. And keep in mind, his health is probably like 5,000. So he can only be in there, like, power cubes aside, for like 2 seconds extra. So you have to be cautious about water and all that. You have to be cautious about how you're going to stay in there. And 8 seconds is plenty of enough time to get to one place and get out of that place. So that's Scupper. I right off the bat I can't think of a new star power for him. I would actually have to sit down with music thinking about it. But that's Scupper's star power. I mean that's Scupper, and I think Scupper would be a cool addition to the Brawl Stars universe because I mean, for one, if we're going off of, I have a video coming out. I'm not going to tell you too much about it, but I have a video coming out that's related to the Kairos times, where his Brawl Stars is located, like a Brawl Stars map, like thing, and Scupper would fit into like the Pirates Cove, and he would be a good addition to the Brawlers, even though we have 4 pirates already. 4 pirates, is that right? 3 pirates. He would be the 4th one. Even though there is 4 pirates, I still think that it would be cool to have another pirate brawler, especially one that's a launcher that can actually throw things with cannons and all that. And I think overall, Scupper would be a cool addition to the Brawl Stars universe. Also, not trademark, but I should start that, BSU, Brawl Stars universe. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap up today's episode of the Brawl Stars podcast, also known as the BS podcast. I was your host, Gramps, and I'll see you all in a future video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Go follow my Instagram, and I'll see you all later. Also follow me on Reddit. It's All is linked in the description below. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.